안녕. 오늘은 이렇게 있고 뉴욕의 미슐랭 정말 예약하기 어려운 아토믹스를 방문해 보려고 합니다. 이렇게 생겼네요. 아토믹스. Awesome. Really? Okay. Sorry. All right. Thank you. Hi.
Introduction. My name is Jason. I'll be taking care of the bartending duties for the evening. To my left is Jess. She was the whole glue to the operation, really. And then we have our head of research and development, Chef Ruben. And together we're presenting a research and development tasting menu that I hope you enjoy. It essentially means, as Ruben likes to put it, we're going to give you enjoy this one.
Thank you. So you don't like it's my fault. You like it's your own. Maybe that's good, 'cause it's good.
Alright.
It is.
So for your first beverage pairing, we're featuring Pet Nat Tea by way of Ama Brewery in the Basque region of Spain. It's essentially just a fermented tea beverage akin to kombucha. For this bottle in particular, they source a very lovely sencha tea from Japan. It has a lot of green tea notes that we feel pairs well with the freshness of Ruben's first bite.
So first one is gonna be seaweed tartlets. In this case, it's Spanish kelp seaweed. Inside we have like a cream made with abalone liver and broccoli stems, as well as the stems that we blanched in the magor tea. Squid being marinated on scallop sauce that the chef made 5 years ago, well before anyone here. One very good fermented thing that he made 2018, and it's really good. Like I said, it's gonna go with the meal first.
We probably won't do that because that's not the plan. Menos solo con very few nights. In the past, we were gonna every day.
Alright, so for the first cocktail of the evening and our newest addition to the menu, we're focusing on the really refreshing flavor of rhubarb. So it's got a strong tart character, but we accent it with a lemon thyme tea syrup as well to add an herbaceous and floral quality. In addition, for spirits, we have Yangcheong Chongju, which is a Korean rice wine. And then we also fortify it with just a little bit of ayu from Empirical Spirits. If you're not familiar, it's just a distillate made from pasilla chilies. So it has a little subtle smokiness, but not quite as heavy as mezcal.
And first time, so let me know how you like this one. It's gonna be blue shrimps marinated with sea grapes, as well as smoked raw chonju, which is a type of Korean alcohol. And underneath we are like komatsuna, which is a type of wild Japanese spinach. On top of that we have a geleme with rhubarb, a little bit of gold, and some spring flowers.
Wow.
Enjoy. Cheers. I went for this student charity. Like we did like so one student picked one of the chefs from New York, and I helped her to cook. And we had this marinated tuna. And they told me it was going to be in a big plate, there's going to be 50, 60, and then we make 200 something. And then we run out of plates, we run out of tuna. So it's always like, yeah.
Were you there?
You never know. More casual concepts, but he got his life. And then actually, so last year, he opened a new restaurant. I work in there.
Oh, you work there, I forgot. Yeah, you go
Hey, why not?
Right, yeah, with my cousin, yeah. It was like, why not? Yeah.
Alright, next beverage pairing is going to center around a soju blend, which is Kunjung winter soju and Samhae soju that we infuse with sorrel and arugula to add a vegetable component Then we fat wash it with duck fat to add a savory undertone. In addition, we pair it with some floral flavors coming from Omija tea, as well as an acacia honey, just essentially honey that Chef Ruben started infusing with acacia flowers over a year ago. And then we top it all off with an Omija liqueur as well. So kind of a balance between some floral components and a subtle savory undertone.
If you hear us, you will think we are very organized and doing things for next year. But in reality, it's like, oh, we have the flowers, let's make something. And then after, we'll be like, what I can do with this guys? Very fast. Next one is gonna be spring flavors. So egg gym or Korean style egg custard. In this case, I made that with the green asparagus juice, as well as on the sauces, green asparagus juice and roasted asparagus tea. Some morel mushrooms on top that have been stuffed with duxelle, which is what you normally have in the beef Wellington, but in this case it's vegetarian. But on top we have botarga, so that this is not.
You want to serve that at a later.
So we need to actually change it because it was too strong.
For your next beverage pairing, we're switching courses a little bit and featuring some tea. This is Isul Balkyo, which is a Korean red tea. It's coming from Hadong in Korea and has kind of a tannic quality that we feel just does a really nice job of cutting through the richness of the broth the chef has prepared for the next course.
So next one is gonna be abalone that's been braised, goes with celeriac, cured yolk, snail caviar or snail eggs from Long Island.
Snail egg?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had snail.
It's a first for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not the last. By the snails for French bistros, by the typical snail with green sauce and vinegar, and then they produce the eggs and they actually charge pretty good amount of money for them.
Oh my god.
So it's good for their business.
It's like a very special thing.
To serve the eggs, if it's too hot, the snails die, and then it happened last year. For a few weeks they just didn't have any production.
And honestly, what most people.
Be some snack juice. So it has a really, really bright vegetal herbaceous character. Because of that, we complement it with isolation gin distilled in the Catskills in New York. We also add some nice texture with a mint-infused kefir, which is a fermented milk beverage that carries a touch of acidity akin to yogurt. And then providing a savory touch is a smoked kim syrup, kim being a Korean seaweed that we very, very gently smoke to provide a little bit of balance.
So, next one is going to be grilled Norwegian langoustines with gochugaru glaze, Gante seaweed powder. As well underneath we have peas cooked with jellyfish, gel made with pomegranate juice and fig vinegar, and we finish with walnut foam, in this case pickle and roasted.
Enjoying the cocktail?
Very good.
Awesome.
Very good pairing.
Syrups at play. The first syrup is a saffron syrup, which really gives it that vibrant orange color that you see in the glass. The next is a cascara syrup. Cascara is the fruit that surrounds the coffee bean, adds a nice rich florality to it. Then we also have some Korean spirits, Yangchang Cheongju, once again, the Korean rice wine you had before, as well as Kunjung Sage winter soju, and then topped with makgeolli. brought Hanamakli next to him.
Next one is gonna be John, Korean style pancake. These ones I made them with enoki mushroom, sanchoks and wagyu beef. As well on top we have spicy apple jam, fried sanchoks for texture, and a ganyan butter sauce. Ganyan is Korean soy sauce. In this case it's for 4 years. We make a dashi and we blend with butter. Yeah?
It got messier after the year. Oh yeah, like more area.
This one's a little bit out of left field, but one of our favorites still. So it all centers around some celeriac juice, which is the juice from the root of the celery plant. And we accent it with a salted honey syrup, as well as a beer syrup from Empirical Spirits, their can number 2, which is actually brewed with a lot of stone fruit in the form of red currants, some sour cherry, a little bit of walnut wood too. So it has a lot of tart flavor that we accent with rum, some green chartreuse, and then the plum, I suppose, spirit from Empirical Spirits as well, which is distilled using plum kernels from the pits of the plum.
The fermentation program at Noma for many years, and then he decided to quit to open his own spirits company. And it's based, if you ever go to
Yeah, all the friends go there and she looked it up and was like, it's closed.
it permanently closed because of COVID.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, very fast. Next one is gonna be dry aged wild Spanish turbot. So turbot fish. Also on the side I put the fins of the turbot wings, which is the most fatty part, but it's my favorite. So that's up to you. Grilled razor clams, sauce made with French sorrel and garnished with apple juice, and we finish with a good amount of caviar in this case. I recommend with each bite of the fish. But they were very good. They good. I always like in Spain, you know, like what you do is like so razor clams, any clams normally they filter water, so they have a lot of sand. So normally razor clams when they have a lot of sand, you need to put them in salt water so they expel all the sand. But then normally what you do in Spain is that you get like the whole clams in the cell and then you put it. I like the flavor a lot, but for me it's like, again, I'm giving this to you because I think they're delicious. But it's like, I'm particularly very picky with the clams myself. I got extra option of oyster, of onion, and all that. I don't mind what to do.
You are never
Things like the Spanish turbot from the menu.
all of the fish is going to Korea or no?
We were more like a cocktail bar, but also the food is pretty good. Yeah, you go.
Where is it located?
It's
Alright. So for your savory course finale, we have a cocktail centered on the earthy flavor of beets, which we accent with an agave syrup as well as a couple of agave spirits, mezcal being one of them, tequila the second. And then we also have a fermented lime juice to punch through these earthy flavors, add a little bit of acidity and balance, and then a Cabernet Franc production in the spirit of the Jordan wines.
And main course is gonna be golden queen rice from Korea with the Korean mustard sauce, A5 wagyu glaze, red siso, and grilled sisito peppers. If anyone is ideally full, you don't need to finish all the rice. I don't think.
So when are you planning to switch this?
Well, I won't tell you until it's on the menu. I say it's gonna be spring flavors. Well, that's normally I like to keep the suspense. I like to don't tell you, and then I'll use to get back. Also, as per the owners, that there are a few things like if we're gonna have an event, which I promise is not the case right now. Jason and Mark needs to be on the look because they need to make a cocktail for you. But I normally will only discuss the menu for up here with the JP.
We make in-house with a cinnamon and jujube infused honey syrup. Then we also add a little bit of walnut liqueur and chocolate bitters for some depth of flavor and richness. The walnut, it's Vlogㅣ. Yeah, it's really tasty, really good stuff. And then we also add, I actually think this one, Gino, this one might be Italian.
We're gonna be Italian.
No, it's from the US, but they like, and then we also add some Dumsel pine soju to top it all off in the mix.
So, next one is gonna be porcini mushroom ice cream with pie pastry. Inside the pie pastry we have cream peppercorn pastry cream, pure crumble, pure is Korean for shiitake. In this case we make a cookie crumble with it, and seal combo seaweed caramel.
In addition, this does also mark last call for the evening. Would anybody like?
Love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right,
This is
love it.
matcha choco pie from
Oh wow, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Love
no
it.
worries.
All right.
Would you like a photo with the?
Love it.
So these blue slips I'm passing out now are just the menu from tonight. So you can refer back to every course, all the pairings.
맛있게 잘 먹었습니다. So that's nice.
I always like taking people down too while things are sort of happening.
Uh-huh.
And like,
All right, thank you.
great night.